Hi there, Dan here, back with another comic book video for you. Today's video is going to be mostly a sweet comic book haul. I did get some books on Wednesday, got a few things in the mail, a little unboxing to do, so we're going to mostly be focusing on just looking at cool new stuff that I got. But I'll probably take a little time at the end to go through some of the recent stuff I read and do some shorter reviews. Also, I wanted to point out right here at the start that if you haven't checked out my last video, which is about Grixley Comics by Nate McDonough, I'd encourage you to check that video out. I know it's a fairly long video, but it's all about one creator that I'm passionate about, someone who I haven't seen another full-length video on, and just really wanted to make a video showing my entire collection of Nate's work. You know, like myself, he's, an artist that's putting out his own stuff. So like my band makes our own music, we record, pay for our own recordings, pay for our own pressing, put out our own stuff with very little record label support. And Nate is out there making his own comics, printing them up himself, shipping them out himself. And I think he's really great. So the first thing I wanted to do was just kind of a little addendum to that video, because I was pretty sure when I made that video I missed a couple things, and there were. So just so the completist in me wants to show these. This is Scutch Book by Nate McDonough. This is a graphic novel he put out. It's a little bit of a smaller, kind of digest-sized graphic novel, probably about 120 pages. This one was from 2014 to 2015. And honestly, I cannot remember much about this one. But I just encourage you guys to go check out the whole video I did about Nate and his comics. I know it's a pretty long video, but you could watch it in a few chunks and just see what this guy has to offer. I show off some original art in it that he made for me or sent to me from pages that he'd done in his comics, and show off some cool bootleg comics that he made. It's a pretty cool video. So that's another book that I meant to show in that video that it kind of fell behind something else on that shelf there. And I found it when I was putting the other books away. Another thing that I had that he contributed to that I forgot to show is this American Nature Presents. This is a really current comic series from Floating World. And it's actually kind of just a hodgepodge of comics, interviews, and reviews. It's the creators of that Santos Sisters that I think are at the helm of this. I could be wrong, but Nate has some columns in these, so he reviews some comics and stuff that he recommends. So that's the first 3 issues. He's got a little segment in all 3 of those. So at the end of the video that I shot about Nate, I did an unboxing of some stuff that he sent me through eBay, since he sells comics on eBay as a full-time job. And since a lot of people probably haven't got to the end of that video or haven't watched that video, I thought I would start by showing that stuff off again for anyone that wants to see it. He did send me a program guide for the Short Run Comic Festival. This was just last November, so a couple months ago. And it's just a short little program guide talking about this convention that it was in Seattle that he went to. And I thought it was cool that there was a little page here with special guests, and there he is right there. Special guest. Sorry about Skippy barking. He's in the other room and my wife's at the gym, so I'm trying to get him to quiet down before this. I'm like, it's not happening. I'm just going to have to risk it. But it seemed like a good time to do the video. All right, so here's what I got from eBay from Nate. I got 3 issues of Tales of Terror from Eclipse Comics. There's number 6. Love a good shark cover. It's pretty awesome. Tales of Terror number 8. Tales of Terror number 10. Then I got 2 issues of Punisher Armory. So there's number 4. And number 6. As I mentioned in that video, I was never really seeking this out per se, but I got the other issues of Marvels for $0.25 each. The number 0 and the number 1, 3, and 4. I just didn't have number 2. So he had it for just a couple bucks. So I snagged that so I can actually read that. I know that's a acclaimed series. Got the first 2 issues of Gru from Marvel, from Epic. So I think this was the 2nd volume of Gru. So there's number 1 and number 2. I got a king-size annual of Spider-Man, number 14. Just got this because I believe this is a Frank Miller issue. That's cool. And then I got 3 issues I needed from Alien Encounters. Number 11. Oh, come on, Skippy. That's enough of that. Number 12. And finally, number 14. So I'm getting pretty close on my Alien Encounters run and my Tales of Terror run. I did complete my Alien Worlds run. That's pretty sweet. All right. Oh, also from Nate, 2 more things. Epic Illustrated from February of '83. Gorgeous cover on that one. And there's 3 Barry Windsor Smith stories in this issue. I believe this one called The Beguiling is supposed to be great, and there's a famous comic shop called The Beguiling that I believe was named after that issue, or that story. And the last thing I got was a Spider-Man graphic novel that is a hardcover with no dust jacket. It's called Spirits of the Earth by Charles Vess. This looks gorgeous. Look at that freaking end page, my God. And so this was a really good deal he had on this. Probably would be a lot more expensive with the dust jacket, but I don't care. Just want to read this. There's a beautiful Spider-Man. Yeah. Charles Vess is pretty awesome. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Not a giant Spider-Man fan, but I like some Spider-Man from time to time, especially if someone really cool is doing it. So that's my haul from Nate. I also got a Bud Plant catalog in the mail. Since I went there in October, now I guess I'm on their mailer. And hopefully they'll keep going the way they were before. And just, you know, under new ownership. Okay, so I went to my used bookstore downtown, and I picked up 2 cheap hardcovers by Tony Millionaire. Billy Hazelnuts and Billy Hazelnuts and the Crazy Bird. So these are both from Fantagraphics. I believe these were the only 2 Billy Hazelnuts books that Tony Millionaire did. But I'd gotten some recent stuff from Tony Millionaire, and I was really enjoying it. And I remembered, oh yeah, they had a couple of these books. I've been kind of eyeing those for a while. Figured I'd snag them before they were gone. I'm probably the guy in town who buys the most comics from the used bookstore. I'm sure there's a few other people that buy stuff, but a lot of the stuff in there just sits there for a long time. So rad. Okay, at the comic book store this week, there was a cool new preview of Vertigo stuff. So Vertigo looks like is coming back. And I read this last night. Shows a few of the new titles coming out. So there's Nice House by the Seas continuing. I read the Nice House by the Lake, but I got the first issue of Nice House by the Sea, but I decided to stop getting in. It just didn't do it for me too much. But it shows some of the art for that in here. It's just like, 6 pages or so. Then this is the one I'm the most excited about. Bleeding Hearts by Dennis Camp and Stipend Morian. So that's what that looks like right there. And it's a zombie book about zombies who, I think they kind of gain their sentience back. They can talk to each other, and I don't know. The main character's name is something. Mouse pushes golf ball through hole in head. It's random, but his art is just so great. This guy is definitely on my short list of new favorite comic artists. Did the 20th Century Men book and that new Soot Stained Heart book that I was just talking about in a recent video. So that's Bleeding Hearts. After that, we get a preview of End of Life, written by Kyle Starks and artist Steve Pugh. This one looks to be about some kind of gangster, pretty boy dude. This one seemed okay. And then Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. So that's the team that did the Western comic. Damn it. Of course I'm going to forget right now. Anyway, you guys probably know. That Texas Blood. That's what it was. Really liked That Texas Blood. This one's called The Peril of Brutal Dark, an Ezra Kane mystery. Really nice looking art. Yeah. Looks beautiful. So then in the back here, they have some, perennial sellers, of course, just plug in those, and then some stuff that's going to be coming out soon. So 100 Bullets is coming back. Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo returning to that world. 8-issue series, another 8-issue series, The Crying Doll. Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valero O'Connell. This one looks awesome. Necretaceous by Tom Taylor and Derek Robinson. I've never read anything by Tom Taylor, but some people say that he's good. But dinosaur comic? Awesome. Into it. Then The Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy. These are both ongoing series. Ram V and Mike Perkins. I don't know if the art inside's going to look like that, but that's a pretty nice cover. Fanatic by Grace Ellis and Hannah Templer, another ongoing. And then A Walking Shadow, Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell. Hell yeah. Those guys had a great run on Hellblazer that I really enjoyed, so I'm going to definitely get that Walking Shadow. So cool to see Vertigo's back. I mean, is it really Vertigo without Karen Berg? Hard to say. Okay, here are the books I got this week, and pretty excited here. We got not one, but two James Stokoe books this week. So Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of Blood, number 4. And The Twilight Zone, issue 3. So I don't know if there's more issues of this coming out, but this is a standalone comic that he did. The art looks crazy in it. Definitely going to be reading that one very soon. Devil on My Shoulder, number 2. I enjoyed the first one. I love a good revenge tale, especially if it's a woman getting revenge on some piece of shit dudes. I got issue 3 of the newest Minor Threats arc. And I got a cool variant by Eric Powell on that one. I love this character. His story arc was great. Okay, looks like the final issue of Nemesis Forever, issue 5. Is Nemesis gonna die? No! I decided to pick up the second issue of Cyberarchy. The first one was all right, but this one looked cooler. They bring some humans into the mix, so now it's not just robots. I was kind of on the fence about this one, and knowing that it's not just robots makes me a little bit more excited to read it. And then the last one I got is another new Bad Idea comic. Hank Howard, Pizza Detective, is back in the Two Hollywoods, issue 1 of 2. So there was a Hank Howard, Pizza Detective comic from the first round of Bad Idea, and I really liked that comic. So this one is Robert Venditti and David Lapham, and I went with the David Lapham cover on that. All right, let's get to the unboxing. So it seems like it hasn't been long since I did a Lone Star order, because I just opened that one up on Christmas Eve. But that one I ordered in, like late November. Probably around Thanksgiving I got that one, and it came in the mail in late November, and I just saved it until Christmas, just as a Christmas gift to myself. This, I started putting stuff into the Lone Star cart right after I placed that order. So end of November throughout December and the beginning of January, I was loading up the cart again. Just kind of waiting around for the time when something became available that I didn't want to miss out on. And that happened last week. So a book popped up that I did not want to miss. So let's see what I got in here. Alright, damn, this is... Okay, they packaged it in 3 bricks. Okay, starts out with some hardcovers and trades. Right. Okay, so the first thing I put in the cart, I think, when I started building it was this She Could Fly Volume 3 trade paperback. I talked about the first 2 volumes of She Could Fly on some recent videos. I was really enjoying this book. Christopher Cantwell is the writer. Martin Morazzo from Ice Cream Man is the artist. And I believe this 3rd volume never had the single issues. It just only came out in the trade, and my shop never got it. Or they got a copy and someone else bought it before I did. So I'm really excited to see how that series finishes up. It definitely feels just like one long ongoing series. They didn't really need to put it into 3 volumes, to my knowledge. This is a volume 1 of an Avatar book that I had never read. That is called Dan the Unharmable. And I've got a lot of the old Avatar stuff. This one just slipped by me somehow. But Dan's got to get Dan the Unharmable, right? Plus David Lapham, you guys know I like him. So I think there might be another volume of this. I think this is just the first half of the series, but it was super duper cheap. Now here's one that I actually didn't think I kept in the cart, but I must have. The Killer, hardcover, volume 1. So Terrence won't shut up about this book, so I'm giving it a try. It sounds really good. I'm very intrigued by it. So I'm stoked to get this first volume. I know it was recommended that you start at the beginning with this series. So check that out once I get some time. I'm in the middle of reading a lot of other stuff right now. Okay, another one that I got from Avatar that I think I just saw advertised, and I love Warren Ellis, so I got another Warren Ellis book from Avatar called Anna Mercury. This is also a hardcover, volume 1. It was super cheap. For a normally $28 book, it was really cheap. So I think there might be a volume 2 of this. Artist on this is hard to read because it's a sticker. That's dumb. Then there's like another sticker underneath it. Facundo. Oh, it's on the side. Facundo Persio. Probably saying that wrong. Facundo Persio. And last trade I got here. Boy, I don't even remember ordering this. Oh, yeah, okay. So, Crema by Johnny Christmas and Dante Luiz. After I read that Canary, which was a comicsology book, they had a list of a ton of other comicsology things that I had never even heard of. My shop didn't get any of them that I can recall. I think this didn't come out in single issues, but it's a $20 trade, and I think it was like $3. And I think I just bought it based on the description. Read some stuff Johnny Christmas has done before. The art looks pretty nice. Yeah, something about haunted coffee or something. I don't know. Random. But, you know, you get a big book like this for $3, just give it a try. Why not? Okay. Oh, boy, there's more. I guess I might have got more hardcovers and trades than issues in this order. Yeah, this is a lot more graphic novels than issues. Okay. Oh yeah, so I got another one from that comicsology that I never heard of. Snow Angels by Jeff Lemire and Jock. Both great creators. Also very cheap. So yeah, this is volume 1. I think there might be a volume 2 in here as well. It's just, no, maybe not. But there is something in here with 2 volumes that I got cheap as well. Okay, yeah, another one from that comicsology thing, The Stone King. This one, I think, is Tyler Crook. McDonald and Crook. Kel McDonald and Tyler Crook. Anybody ever heard of The Stone King? I sure hadn't. Once again, $20 book. It's probably like $3 or $4. Tyler Crook's art is fantastic. All kind of a painted thing. I'd read the back, but you know, I don't want this video to go forever. I'll let you guys know when I get around to it, what it's all about. Okay, so I did get these 2 volumes, and the reason I got these is because I showed off a bookmark in a previous video that was super huge, and it was a advertisement for a new Darwin Cook Spirit Connoisseur Edition. Well, it's basically like an artist edition. I was like, I kind of want that, but I really just want to read the Darwin Cook Spirit stuff. I don't have any interest in necessarily paying a ton of money for just a little part of the story. So I decided to look and see how much the actual Spirit by Darwin Cook books went for. And these were super cheap. One of them is super cheap because it was in a VG condition library copy. Don't really care too much about that. That's interesting. This is all cut out right there. But this is volume 1 hardcover of Darwin Cook's Spirit. Also super cheap. And then the book 2 is a near mint, but it doesn't have the dust jacket. So she really liked that without the dust jacket. Maybe I'll just ditch the dust jacket on the other one so they look the same on the shelf. Let's see what this looks like without the jacket. I mean, that is a cool dust jacket, but yeah, it gets mangled. Look, it's even like taped right there, like the library had to tape it back together. Well, aside from there being a piece of tape across the top of the cover right here and on the back, that just looks better. So yeah, that looks way cooler. So I'm looking forward to checking these out. I have 1 or 2 issues of Darwin Cook's Spirit, but I want to read the whole thing. Okay, wow. Finally onto some comic books. All right, I got Prey number 3. This is Troy Nixie from Monster Comics Fantagraphics imprint. So I have Prey number 1. Still don't have number 2. I think there was only 3 issues total of this. I love Troy Nixie, and I like his old work a lot. I like his old black and white stuff. So it's been a long time since I read Prey number 1, but I still had 2 and 3 on my want list for a long time, and I've missed out on number 2. It's become available and then sold out before I could get it several times. Speaking of sold out before I could get it, Comic Crack and I definitely think alike with these Lone Star want lists, because I had the Night of the Living Dead London issue 2 on my want list, and it became available, and I added it to the cart, and then it went missing. So I'm like, oh, somebody else snagged it. And then another copy got added to the, came up available on my want list. I'm like, wow, they got another one already. Added it to the cart, and that one also went away. So somebody else snagged both of those copies, and one of them was definitely Terrence. And there was things that he got that I just got, and something in here that I got that he just got. But the next thing I got, I was very excited to get. I got a copy of The Monster of Frankenstein from Marvel issue 2. I recently read, I think it was issue 5 or something like that, of this series that I have that's coverless. And I was talking about how I really liked it and wanted to get more, but that I would not be able to afford them. Well, here's why I could afford it. That's a PR, my friend, a 0.5. So I don't care about condition. I just want to read this. So let's just see, though, for fun, what is making this a PR? I mean, I think it would have said if it was missing some pages. The cover is on. The smell is there. I mean, what? It's like someone wrote a little XD in pencil. I'm just going to flip through 6, 7, 8, 9. See if all the pages are here. 11, 12, 14, 15. Yeah, dude, centerfold is attached. Why is this cheap? There's probably like a Marvel stamp cutout or something. This art looks so good. 28. Oh, I see. The very last page is ripped out. There's a little tiny remnants of a page that was ripped out at the back. Possibly an ad. Yes, it was just an ad or a letters page, because that's the end of the comic. Fuck yeah. Complete, and didn't have to pay a bunch of money. Super stoked. Score. I think it was like $3 or $4. All right, here's the one that's been on my want list for a long time that Terrence just got. T-Bird Chronicles. And this was also one where it popped up on my want list. I added it to the cart, and then it went away. And then it came back. And they also got issue 2 and maybe issue 3, and those ones I didn't get. They sold out. But looking forward to that one. That is definitely something that came onto my radar through Power Comics, showing it off. All right. Next up in my Judge Dredd Eagle run I needed was 32. So I got that one. Brian Bolland does all the covers on this series. Very nice. Another random comic company I've never heard of called Alpha. This is Billy Joe Van Helsing, Redneck Vampire Hunter. Wow, that looks so sweet. Come on, Redneck Vampire Hunter. You know I'm going to buy that comic. I don't know if there's more issues or if there were that I didn't get them. Maybe I just wanted to check out the first one, but not too bad. Weird. So that's the end of that story. And then there's a second one starring the same character. Oh, dude. Look at that back cover. Hell yeah. Redneck Vampire Hunter. Interesting. The cover. Yeah, E. Harper. No clue who that is, but it's painted. All right. So I got issues 2 and 3 out of 3 of Girl Crazy by Gilbert Hernandez. I recently read Girl Crazy issue 1 and loved it. Talked about it on a recent video. So I had to add 2 and 3 to the cart so I can finish that up. Super stoked. And then this was the first one that went into the cart. Robo Wolf #1. Because I got Robo Wolf #2. My shop just ordered it for me without telling me about it. They just assumed I would want it, and I did. But they never got #1 for some reason. So now I got #1. This also became available in a higher grade, and then it sold out, and then I was about to I was in the checkout and was about to hit checkout. I was like, wait a sec, where's that RoboWolf book? Someone got it. And I looked back and there was a VG copy still available. Sweet. All right, a couple more things here, including the thing that made me finally get to the clicking of the button that takes the money from you and gets you the comic. So it's taped to some cardboard here. Right. Okay, so the one thing I got in here that I'm pretty psyched about is this copy of Mad magazine style reprints number 6. So these Mad magazine sized perfect bound or whatever you call it type edition is reprints of the original Mad comics before it became Mad magazine. So these are, you know, to me, like the good ones. I've got probably number 1 through 8 now. I was just missing number 6. It's a really fun way to read these comics. You know, you're not going to find any affordable copies of the original Mads. So that's pretty nice. Okay, one thing I kind of decided I was going to do, it's not like a New Year's resolution per se, but just an excuse to try and do this, is I got all those issues of The First Kingdom for free in Grass Valley at Bud Plants. You know, I had the first 5 issues already, but I got all the rest of the issues for free that I needed to complete the entire run, except for 2 issues, number 7 and the second to last issue. So I got the number 7. And the reason I said the thing about the New Year's resolution is I thought there's 24 issues, there's 12 months in the year. If I just read 2 issues a month, I could read this whole series within the year. And I'm honestly kind of afraid to read this series. It's so much text and it looks very time consuming to read, which is fine, but I just have so many comics. Something takes a really, really long time to read. If I'm not super into it, I'm going to be kind of like, ugh, let's get over this with this and get to the next thing. But this is a pretty acclaimed book. I don't know that it's like the coolest thing ever, but I own them now. It was nice of them to gift them to me, and I read my comics. Even if something doesn't look super great, I'm always going to give it a shot. If it doesn't look like something I would actually read, I don't keep it. Or, well, I've never actually gotten rid of comics. I've never sold them or anything, but I wouldn't bring them into my house. So here's the issue that I couldn't resist. Issue 5 of Lloyd Llewellyn. I do have the first 4 issues, and I have that one special that was comic book sized, but this is Daniel Clowes, series from 1986. I'm sure it took, well, maybe this came out, yeah, it's signed 86 right here. But anyway, this was a precursor to 8-Ball, and I really like this series, and I've been trying for years to complete it, and now I only need one more. I only need number 6. So Lloyd Llewellyn number 5 completes my haul. Booyah. Not a bad little haul. Okay, well, I'm going to probably just go through some of the stuff that I've read recently fairly quickly, so this doesn't end up being a super, super long video. One thing I wanted to point out before I show you the stuff I read. Well, I did read this, but I didn't actually just read this. I actually had forgot to put this comic away, and it was just kind of sitting in a stack of stuff over there. And I got it out, and I was like, oh, I think I didn't read the last story, which was the Black Hawk story. The reason I want to talk about this, though, is kind of stupid, but probably like you, or I am probably like you in the sense that I like old comic book ads, especially the comic book ads that are about martial arts and learning how to increase your martial arts skills by sending away for some kind of booklet that will teach you how to be a crazy assassin overnight, you know? And these ads pop up all the time, and there's quite a few of them. And at some point, many years ago, I started realizing how many there were, and every time I would come across one that I hadn't seen before, I would take a picture of it with my phone. So I had all these photos in my phone of the different ads for martial arts training schools you could send away for. And there was one particular ad that I liked way more than all the others. We all know about Count Dante. I like this one way more than Count Dante. And so I took a picture of this one, and then I was like, oh, that's so badass. I'm going to make that the backdrop for my phone. So on like the main screen, the notification screen, every time I look at my phone to open it up, I see this ad. And I had never seen it again since then, and I could not recall what comic it was from, but it was really weird that I took a picture of this ad, it became the wallpaper for my phone, and I never came across it again in all the years since then, until now, this issue of Brave and the Bold, number 117. I read it and hadn't read that last Blackhawk story, so I read that and was about to put it away, and on the very last page, also the Evel Knievel ad's great too, is this ad right here. Let's see if I can get the lighting to be a little better than that. So I love the image of it, but I love what it says even more. I mean, they all are fun to read, but it says, make your hands terrifying self-defense weapons. Pulverize attackers twice your size with one deadly blow. With all with my exclusive method that guarantees results. I don't care how small or big you are, whether you're weak or strong, young or old, my fantastic method turns you into a deadly fighting machine fast and with no torturous training. Yeah, exactly. That sounds great. In fact, the very first hour after you receive my method, you'll begin to develop powerful self-defense know-how to use in an instant in many tough situations. And it just talks about how you can smash people, wipe people out, put power into your fists for demolishing things, disarm gun-toting, knife-wielding creeps, and put them away quick. Put them away in quotations. Use an attacker's own clothing and body to annihilate him in an instant. Cut any bully down to size in a deadly 5-second trick developed by the Suicide Squad of the Orient. Hell yes! Make every part of your body a fearsome, destructive weapon of self-defense. Deadlier than any other single method. I mean, it's deadly, guys. It's deadly. You want to pulverize attackers? Make your hands terrifying self-defense weapons. Right there. So, I'm a dork, but yeah, I love that ad, and I just was stoked to finally find it, so I figured I'd show it off to anyone who likes that kind of stuff. All right. You know, maybe I'm just going to save this stuff for another time. I think that's long enough for today. We'll make the reviews another video. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you all are having a good year so far. Catch up with you soon.